The moment in store would be written in the golden letters in the annals of Bhavans as the first lecture of the Bhavans in Palkhivala Memorial Law Lecture Series would unravel before us through the magnificent eloquence of our distinguished guest of honor, the first citizen of Kerala, Honorable Justice Sri P.Sathasivam, Governor of Kerala. Blessed are we to have with us such a great luminary whose magical energy turned every obstacle into opportunity, who stands tall among the noble due to the utmost dedication to his vocation and thereby to this great nation. Honoured am I, as I most humbly request Honourable Justice Sri P.Sathasivam, Governor of Kerala, to kindly deliver the first lecture and inaugurate the Bhavans in Palkhivala Memorial Law Lecture Series and thereby bless us in a humble endeavour.
Honourable Justice Sri K.S. Radhakrishnan, former Judge, Supreme Court of India, my former colleague, Sri P.N. Santana Gopal, Director, Bharat Vidya Bhavan, Mumbai, Dr. P. Abdul Salam, Vice Chancellor, University of Calicut, Dr. K. Madhavan Kuti, Chairman, BBB Kolikot Kendra, Professor T.P. Rajalakshmi, other invitees, my lovable students, particularly law students, ladies and gentlemen. I have immense pleasure to participate in this function that has been convened to inaugurate law lecture series of Bhavan's NA Palkhivala Academy for advanced legal studies and research. I have also been asked to deliver the first Palkhivala Law Lecture Series. Let me at the outset compliment everyone behind this ambitious venture on their fruitful efforts to realize long cherished dream. Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan and its multifaceted activities need no introduction. Founded by Kulapati K.M. Munshi, a veteran nationalist, grade 7 and doyen of letters, the Bhavan has been rendering yeoman service to the social, educational and cultural spheres for several decades. The Gandhi Peace Prize conferred by our President in 2003 was indeed growing glory of Bhavan's achievements. Let me recall the prophetic words of Dr. K.M. Munshi, who looked upon the Bhavan as an adventure in faith, a faith in India's past, present and future. It was also a faith in India's people who have rich and unknown cultural heritage. Significantly enough, the Bhavan has always upheld its ideal Vasudeva Kudumbakam, meaning the world is one family. I am extremely happy that the Law Academy of Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan has been named after the illustrious Nani Ardeshir Palkhivala in order to commemorate his legendary life for posterity. I am also pleased for having conferred this honored opportunity to inaugurate first Bhavan's NA Palkhivala's Memorial Lecture Series in honor of legend Nani Palkhivala. Sri Nani Palkhivala was among the few rare gems in the legal field who had not only seen incredible success in his professional life but also simultaneously contributed in shaping the justice system in our country through his impeccable knowledge in constitutional law. He has to his credit for influencing how we look at the Indian Constitution today. Besides, he is true champion who traversed the nuances of complete tax laws with great ease. He continues to live through his stupendous work that he was able to achieve as a lawyer, economist and a diplomat. Irrefutably, he would continue to be an overwhelming inspiration for many generations to come. Before going into the topic, in the earlier lecture presidential address, my esteemed former colleague Justice Radhakrishnan has mentioned about me. You might have read the details about me. I come from a rural, very rural based. I studied only in government college up to the school. Thereafter I joined the law college. That was the only law college, government law college at Chennai at that time in the whole of Tamil Nadu. Thereafter I had the opportunity to assume office as a judge of the Madras High Court at the age of 46. After serving several years, I was transferred to, no, I am giving this information for a specific purpose, because most of the audience I am supposed to accept that are law students. After serving more than a decade, I was transferred to Punjab and Haryana. Then from there I was elevated to Supreme Court. As mentioned by my respected colleague Justice Radhakrishnan, in Supreme Court we had an opportunity to go into many aspects. Last one decade you might have come across several sensational orders by the Supreme Court, taking care of the interest of the public. In order to utilize the service of Justice Radhakrishnan even after his retirement, the Supreme Court in a public interest litigation, in order to reduce the accidents, particularly motor vehicle accident in all over India, constituted a high-level committee under the chairmanship of Justice Radhakrishnan, and at present he is continuing this work in association with the experts on this field. Then the topic I have selected for addressing this gathering on first Bhavan's N.A. Palkhivala Memorial Law Lecture Series is Challenges to Human Security in 21st Century, a Vision of Crimes in Future. Now I spent some time to select topics. Initially I thought I want to emphasize the importance of our women folk and children, how the Constitution gives rights, the trends in the recent times, and how the Parliament amended several enactments. Now I had the opportunity to speak about these topics last 3 or 4 months in this state. That's why I selected, among those topics, I selected these challenges to human security in this 21st century and a vision of crimes in future. I shall split the topic in 2 portions to encapsulate better. The vision of crimes in future would be the first part, and the striking need to modernize the criminal investigation would be the latter. So as suggested, the first topic is vision of crime in future. We live in technological era where the world is becoming increasingly open, and that has implications both positive and dangerous. Human security is the fundamental concern of every sovereign nation. Technology was envisaged as the apparatus to further this cause. I am explaining that everyone is entitled to walk free from Kanyakumari to Kashmir. It is the responsibility of the sovereign state to give protection to everyone. However, few recent unfortunate incidents across the globe have proved us wrong. In fact, the technological advancement has erased the physical boundaries of warfield and made it an infinite field, which is the greatest impediment of this century. We, as sovereign nation and as a prominent member of United Nations, are bound to cooperate and coordinate within and with other nations to overcome this greatest impediment of this century. We are bound by, stopping further, we are bound by several international conventions. If the law students and lawyers are interested, just go through the recent judgment pertaining to reduction of modifying the death sentence to life imprisonment in the Rajiv Gandhi assassination case. 3 judges of the Supreme Court, in the absence of any specific law from our country, referred to several international treaties after holding that even a death convicts entitled protection and liberty under Article 21 of the Constitution, keeping their mercy petitions beyond a reasonable time. In those cases, this was lying in the table for 13 and a half years, and based on the international conventions and holding that even a death convicts entitled to protection under Article 21, the Supreme Court commuted the death sentence into life imprisonment. Mere adhering to laws would not help us survive this high-tech era. Consolidation of law with sophisticated technical knowledge is a must to thrive in this digital era. In the next 20 years, traditional crimes as we know it today will be completely replaced by cyber crimes. The internet has become our 21st century crime scene. I am repeating, the internet has become our 21st century crime scene. I will elaborate. It is time for people to stop thinking of cybercrime as something that only happens on a computer. With the rise of smart inverted commas, with the rise of smart devices and the Internet of Things, IoT, in all day-to-day devices, the cyber attacks have become far more invasive, dangerous than even physical. Among another most worrying aspect of this is that the likelihood of terrorists moving online and engaging in what is called cyber terrorism. This also I will elaborate. These methods of producing terror, destruction, havoc and fear can be much more destructive online than conventional methods in the real world. Therefore, the legal system should be equipped both manually and intellectually to tackle the rapid technology development that would allow crimes to turn for the worse. With the tendency of misusing technology, there arises a need of strict statutory laws to regulate the criminal activities in the cyber world and to protect the true sense of technology. Friends, Information Technology Act 2000 was enacted by Parliament of India to protect the field of e-commerce, e-governance, e-banking, as well as penalties and punishments in the field of cyber crimes. The above act was further amended in the form of Information Technology Amendment Act 2008. Nevertheless, still there is no exclusive statute in our country for governing cyber laws involving privacy issues, jurisdictional issues, intellectual property rights issues, and number of other tricky legal questions. I shall pick up one aspect in the prevailing laws to highlight the gaps in the legal system. Territorial jurisdiction is a major issue which is not satisfactorily addressed in the Information Technology Act as well as in the Amendment Act 2008. Section 80 stipulates the police officer's power to enter church, a public office for a cyber crime, etc. Since cyber crimes are basically computer based, this aspect becomes challenging. For example, if the mail of someone is hacked by accused sitting far away in another country, then the determination of jurisdiction of police station, who will take cognizance, becomes an issue. It is mostly seen that the investigators generally try to avoid accepting such complaints on the grounds of jurisdiction. Before proceeding further, I had an opportunity to deal with very sensational first Bombay bomb blast case which took place in 1993 at Mumbai. That matter was heard by the special judge for 16 years. As per the provisions of the Tada Act, appeal was filed only in the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court matter was heard for a period of 10 months. In that decision, several materials we have noted. Persons in foreign countries, Dubai and Pakistan, were instrumental in instigating persons in Mumbai to do all these things. Unfortunately, neither India nor international communities can do anything. Though our courts have convicted the persons in India, the real persons who were behind the scenes still not punished. Then coming to our subject, in Lalita Kumari's case, the Supreme Court held that registration of first information report, FIR, is mandatory under section 154 of the Criminal Procedure Code if the information discloses commission of a cognizable offence and no preliminary inquiry is permissible. In such a situation, the police officer cannot avoid his duty of registering offence, and the court also warranted for action to be taken against erring officers. On the other hand, if the information received does not disclose a cognizable offence but indicates the necessity for an inquiry, a preliminary inquiry may be conducted only to ascertain whether cognizable offence is disclosed or not. Since the cyber crime is geography agnostic, borderless, territory free, and generally spread over territories of several jurisdictions, it is needed to proper training is to be given to all the concerned players in the field. Then coming to the next part, striking need to modernize the criminal investigation system. The scientific advancement has expanded the horizons of criminal law and forced us to look beyond state-centric notion of crimes. The number of crimes increases in the society as the primary causes of crime simultaneously escalates. Such causes are overpopulation, poverty, and social intolerance. Therefore, we must develop new concepts, techniques, and strategies for survival that meet the challenges of our changing times. There is no aspect of society that can benefit more by accepting this challenge than the field of law enforcement. The specialty of criminal investigations, while drawing upon the tried and proven fundamentals of its accumulated experience, must now move ahead into the realm of future to curb the newfound cyber-related offences. It is pertinent to note that this forward leap is unachievable without a close coordination with the advancements in science and technology that we are witnessing today. The mystic theories advanced to explain the scheme of things began to lose ground as the clear, cold logic of scientific experiment gradually shed a new light on the mysteries of the universe. Science has had a striking influence on not only changing the mode of crimes, but also the nature of detective work. Today, democracy and awareness has changed the perceptions. The effectiveness of traditional methods is diminishing at a very fast rate. The advent of computer, internet, and cyberspace has brought highly complex crimes that baffle the traditional crime investigation techniques. However, there is depth of scientific equipment that can render timely assistance to the investigating agencies, availability of forensic and cyber experts in intelligence and investigation departments of various states also inadequate. Stopping for a moment, when I had an opportunity to hear a criminal case, I verified that one case ended in acquittal because of the inordinate delay in sending forensic report from the state headquarters to the concerned court. I don't know how many forensic centers are available in the state of Kerala. My request is, it should be established at the region wise. When a police, the investigation officer sends some material for a report, specialized report, it should be sent to the court as early as possible, preferably within a period of months. As a result, our investigators heavily lean towards traditional methods of crime investigation. Unscientific investigation by the police is also the principal causes of low rate of conviction. In my perspective, there is no aspect of law enforcement more open to criticism than the gross neglect of our investigation agencies in failing the technological advances in the exercise of crime detection. All of us will agree that the potential in this regard has been scarcely tapped by our nation's investigation services. Thus, it has become compulsory and indispensable to utilize the stunning advances in science and technology that this century has placed at its disposal so as to upgrade the crime investigation methods and strategies. It is highly desirable that our investigation agencies work in full scientific assistance of certain institutions like Forensic Science Lab, Chemical Examiner's Lab, Fingerprint Bureaus, Serologist, Department of Explosives, Mobile Scene of Crime Laboratories, Computer Divisions, Medico-Legal Divisions, etc. I had the opportunity just now I mentioned to deal with one of the leading cases, namely the 1993 Bombay bomb blast case. The capability of our investigating agencies was truly depicted in this case, despite the depth of assistance of new technologies then. Different kinds of physical evidence may be seized from the crime scene. To mention few: blood stain, hair follicle, glass, saliva stain, skin fragments, fingerprints, footprints, etc. can be subjected to scientific examination in order to get swift and accurate results. At present, I am telling all the audience, our investigation people are lacking this kind of scientific methods. That is why many cases end in acquittal. There are no limits to the scope of the services provided by properly staffed and equipped criminal statistics, criminalist laboratory. Any physical evidence is subject to scientific analysis, yet it is precisely this area of technological potential that has been most neglected by our system of criminal justice, which needs the attention of the day. Preservation of evidence is also a big issue. It is obvious that while filing cases under the Information Technology Act, very often chances to destroy the necessary easily, as evidences may lie in some system like the intermediaries, computers, or sometimes in the opponent's computer also. Due rules and regulations should be followed in this regard as well. If the existing challenges of crime are to be met effectively, not only the mindset of investigators needs a change, but they have to be trained in advanced technology, knowledge of changing economy, new dynamics of social engineering, efficacy and use of modern forensics, etc. Finally, cooperation among international community. At the same time, the crises of recent years have sharpened the focus of the international community on those threats that go beyond the control of any individual government or governments. These threats have highlighted the need for greater collaboration among governments, international and regional organizations, civil society and community-based actors. By focusing on common global challenges, including those pertaining to climate change, human trafficking, protection of children and women against violence, and the proliferation of small arms and light weapons, the Human Security Network draws special attention to instances of human insecurity around the world where global cooperation can strengthen our efforts. Now that human existence has come to be increasingly shaped by global and local trends, national policies need to be complemented by enhanced international cooperation among countries and by strengthening civil societies everywhere. We need more discussion, more studies, and more exchanges of ideas and resources in order to overcome technological threats that unfortunately linger into 21st century. My final remarks: technology revolutionized the way we live and work, but these same tools have also enabled criminals to coordinate and bolster their activities under a cloak of anonymity and have opened myriad new avenues for fraud and other online crimes. Before proceeding, I will give one illustration. I hope I am not taking. When several years ago, my brother Justice Radhakrishnan, when the judges of this country decided to disclose our assets voluntarily, we, the judges in Supreme Court, was the first one to disclose our assets, both movable and immovable, including bank balances, in the website of the concerned court. Everyone from sitting in any corner can ascertain. Unfortunately, one of our brother judge in Orissa High Court, while furnishing this information, is also mentioned his SB account, current number account also. Within a day, see how this happened. His entire bank balance was transferred to some other account. He made a complaint to the Chief Justice of India. The then Honorable Chief Justice of India apprised us in a full court meeting. We are not supposed to disclose the SBR current account to public. We have to disclose our belongings, our properties, that's all. See how, I don't know what happened, whether that poor judge enabled, whether he got back the amount or not. See, these are all the latest trend of the crimes. Slowly, our investigating officers have to forget the Indian Penal Code offense. People may resort to this kind of, unless we, the students, thorough with the cyber laws and our investigators are knowledge about the modern techniques, very difficult to curtail these. As our lives become increasingly dependent on technology, we will become more vulnerable to cyber crime in ways that may be hard to imagine today. To ensure that technology is used in a way that assists the administration of justice, various commendable integrated mission mode projects are needed to be adopted. I must also disclose that simply improving technological upgradation will not solve the purpose. If the envisaged project should work as efficiently as projected, then there should be efforts for technological upgradation of the court staff, advocates, and among common masses. All of us must be in a position to handle these computers and other technologies. My applause to Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan for establishing and dedicating an academy of global standards, namely Bhavan's NA Palkhivala Academy for Advanced Legal Studies and Research, in his commemoration. I wish them success and triumph in all their endeavors. May this initiative strive to go forward with the ideals which the legend Nani Palkhivala cherished in his professional and personal life. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir, for making us aware of the various aspects of cybercrime that leaves us more knowledgeable and has more protected from cybercrime.